Joining me now is Gibbs, political science professor at the College of Charleston and author of First in the South, Why South Carolina's Presidential Primary Matters, and Jamie Lovegrove, political reporter at the Post and Courier. Professor Knotts, will South Carolina's reputation of clarifying things for the Democrats be intact after this?
It's going to be tough. I mean, 2004, they supported John Edwards. He ended up getting beat by John Kerry in the end. And this is a crowded field. And so I think it could give some life to Biden. Maybe Biden's going to try to fight to be the alternative to Bernie Sanders. But this is a lot more muddy year than in previous.
Would you have predicted that it was going to be in this place 4 years ago, after Hillary obviously stumbled to defeat?
No, if you would have told me that, for a while, Bernie Sanders had a chance to win the South Carolina primary, that would have blown my mind. I mean, but he got 25% last time, really blown out by Hillary Clinton, but because there are so many candidates and because I think he's done a good job of keeping his supporters loyal to him. You win 20% in a 6 or 7 person race. That looks pretty good.
Oh, he's an amazing retail politician, though. I mean, the young kids love him. He spends a lot of time on college campuses, networking, has a great operation.
That's right.
Jamie, when you look at the landscape here, and this is a state unlike any other state in the country. Every state's unique. But this is a very different Democrat Party in this state. It's much more moderate. Right. It really isn't, in many ways, a bellwether of what's coming down the pike. But Bernie's still holding on to second so far.
If it's a bellwether of anything, it's bellwether of southern states. And that's obviously not the whole country. But if you look to some of our neighbors, Georgia, North Carolina, and some of the other states on Super Tuesday, Alabama, Virginia, it might be indicative of what we're going to see there. But certainly, South Carolinians and South Carolina Democrats, on both parties, pride themselves on the fact that they are independent thinkers and they like to go their own way. And I don't think there's any state other than probably Delaware, his home state, where Joe Biden has a stronger relationship with Democrats. And they are, it seems, poised to reward him tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement out there today. I've got to say, people were really stoked, and a lot of them really want to get rid of Trump. And I kept telling them that's not going to happen. Sorry, but you can have fun tomorrow anyway. All right, Jeff Weaver, who is Bernie's campaign guy, tried to explain why Bernie left the state early. Watch.
Where's your senator going to be tomorrow? In South Carolina or some other state?
He's going to be, he's in some other states tomorrow. He's in Massachusetts, and he's going to finish the night in Vermont, which also is a Super Tuesday.
So is he simply assuming he's not going to do well in South Carolina?
No, not at all. We typically do this. We typically, after the first two states have moved on.
What thoughts?
I think he's seen some polling. It doesn't look particularly
Why
good.
waste the time here?
Yeah, why waste the time? And so I think Biden probably will get a victory, but it's just, is it going to be an actual springboard or kind of a dead cat bounce where he, wins here and then really, Bloomberg has so much money and Bernie does well and it just ends up not being much.
Jamie, it's interesting to see the generational divide in the Democrat Party. And there was interesting MSNBC moment where they were talking with an African-American voter about, who this voter was going to vote for versus his parents. Watch.
My parents live in South Carolina, so I came to visit them.
Are they going to vote tomorrow?
Yes, they are going to vote tomorrow. They were more Biden in the beginning, but they weren't really following, the race. I mean, they just know Biden, Obama, and that's what it was. But I kind of had to, pull them along, tug them along.
You know who they're voting for tomorrow?
Yes, I do. Bernie Sanders.
So he convinced his parents to go for Bernie Sanders. But, we talked to folks today. I saw that divide over and over and over again.
Well, Congressman Clyburn is out with Joe Biden endorsement, and his grandson works for Pete Buttigieg. Right. So, that's a sort of ultimate, and I think that's exactly right. There is this generational divide kind of among all Democratic voters and certainly in the African-American community as well.
But it's also affection for President Obama, is it not? That's a driving force here.
It is. There were some older African-American voters that I've talked to who viewed the symbolism of Biden, a white establishment politician, standing behind a black president for 8 years loyally. They view the symbolism that a little
loyalism
stronger.
goes back.
Absolutely. And they also remember Joe Biden coming down here with Fritz Hollings, the
oh my gosh, you're really going back in time.
They have these memories. I'll tell you another thing. The older voters, they are much more worried than the younger voters about a repeat of 1972. They don't want
they
Georgia
remember.
to govern.
Yeah.
They view Bernie Sanders
Yeah.
as potentially a landslide defeat candidate, and so they're a lot more worried about the younger voters want some inspiration.
A number of them said it would be considered for them a repudiation of Obama,
Right.
which they don't want to see.
Right.
Fascinating. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. It's great to have you both on tonight. Thanks so much.